In a world of combat sport, one weekend has seemingly changed the landscape for both MMA and boxing. Let's break everything down. Okay, so firstly, yes, I know this is Destiny 2, and I'll be looking to add some of the old UFC gameplay soon, but if there's any other games that you would like to be in the background, please post a comment, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Okay, so let's start with UFC Stockholm, and Alexander Gustafsson has lost to Anthony Smith, and Alexander Gustafsson's retired, so I'm surprised and I'm not surprised. In one aspect, Gustafsson, in my opinion, is still a viable top 10 contender. However, he is inconsistent. I mean, outside of Daniel Cormier and John Jones, I mean, there is a solid argument that he would be champ, and his inconsistencies would have made for a volatile and unpredictable and exciting lightweight division, rather than him being like us, that is just here for basically to see what happens in the war of supremacy between the two, and we're just along for the ride. And yes, I know that sounds harsh, but you know, these are two guys he just couldn't beat, you know, and there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that at all. I mean, rumours are that he wants to retire now. He says he doesn't have it in him anymore, and he just wants to avoid any more damage. And you know what? Good for him. I mean, this year alone, we have questioned people like BJ Penn, Alistair Overeem, Chuck Liddell, you know, Ortiz. They shouldn't fight anymore, and this is not entertainment. It's not fun to watch, and Gustafsson wants to look after himself. So Alexander Gustafsson, thank you for the career, and just like John Jones said in his tweet, you know, you made everyone better. You made everyone better in the lightweight division, and thank you. Right, so there was no way I was not going to mention this. Admittedly, I'm not an expert at boxing, neither MMA, but I feel confident that I can give my input in the latter rather than the former. That being said, you know, I really started to follow the heavyweight division with, like, obviously my friends going out and watching it, and this morning or last night, depending on where you are and when you watched it, the sporting world was shocked. Andy Ruiz Jr., the late replacement of Jarrell Miller, was stopped for drug cheating. Yeah, he said it. Stopped Anthony Joshua in the 7th round and is now a multiple heavyweight champion. Now I think it's important that we take stock of this and look at this properly, because it's just too easy to say that AJ's been exposed, you know, and really shouldn't have stood a chance, when simply that isn't the case. So yes, Ruiz Jr. was a late replacement, but he was called up a week after his previous fight, so he still had a training camp, so he just resumed that training camp, so he was more than prepared than your usual obviously late replacement. And yes, he was an underdog. He was coming into this a huge underdog, obviously, because of that. But that being said, he has been known for his quick speed, obviously with his hands as well, and I believe Freddie Roach said not to underestimate him as well, so kind of should have taken notice of that one as well. But let's look at AJ for a second. So AJ, and I hate to admit this, there has been some frailties in his previous fights. You looked at Povetkin, and Povetkin, you know, had a bit of obviously success in his last fight as well. And there are some habits he's had, which quite frankly has come back to bite him on the arse, and last night, or again this morning, has obviously proved it. So let's kind of look at the key elements of what happened. So round 1 and 2 was kind of, you was expected, kind of feeling each other out, seeing what was happening as well, but I don't know, I was watching it with a friend, and we felt something was off with obviously AJ, and something didn't seem right. So round 3 happens, AJ connects, and yeah, you know, we get the first knockdown. AJ connects, everyone's happy. So he comes in essentially for the finish, really reckless, may I add, and then Rui just absolutely just goes off on one and floors me twice. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've seen a turnaround in a single round, and he not once but twice. So obviously Rui spills blood, and to be honest, AJ is very, very lucky to survive that round. So we go through rounds 4, 5, 6, very, very cautious. You know, I think AJ's in a little bit uncharted water. You know, he A lot of people saying he should have done the same thing he did with Klitschko and just like stick behind the jab. You know, maybe that might have been the right decision. I think when we were going into round 6, someone was saying, I think some of the commentators were saying on Sky Sports box office, and I think in DAZN, they were saying he was 2 points behind Ruiz. And I had a look at one of the live scoreboards online, and he was actually like 3 points down. So when he gets to round 7, and well, that was it. Floored again, and gets up, and then floored for a 4th time. He walks away from the referee, and the referee calls it, believes that maybe that AJ just wasn't communicating enough, you know, and you know, I think it was the right call. I think it was the right call. I think he was only going to get hurt more, and it was just a case of really Ruiz recovered better than AJ, like much better. So you know, that's that just happened. So let's be real. Let's give Ruiz Jr. credit rather than start the inquest, as inquest implies that an investigation had to happen, like what was wrong. There is no investigation. Ruiz Jr. was just better than Anthony Joshua last night. Okay, so what's next? You know, are we going to get a rematch clause? Probably. Will AJ win his championships back? Well, that all depends. AJ admits it's back to the drawing board, and let's keep in mind that he's 29. That is still very young for any type of combat sports, and look what he's done, look what he's accomplished. That being said, I'm probably going to get some sort of heat, but we have now seen a vulnerable AJ, and Wilder knows he can beat Ruiz Jr. So the real winner in this boxing Game of Thrones, well, that's going to be very interesting, isn't it? Well, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next Aftermath.